Welcome to Surviving the Side Hustle, the show where driven entrepreneurs share the real stories, the real honest struggles, and the hard-won secrets behind performing at their best. I'm your host, Rob Tracy, a personal performance strategist and the founder of TAPS Coaching, where I partner with entrepreneurs to turn real effort into real momentum. Every week, I sit down with an owner-operator who's building something of their own, and we get past the highlight reel to find out what's actually working. Because the truth is, most people don't need more. They need to pay attention to what works for them and do more of that. So whatever you're building, let's stop spinning and start winning. We'll jump into the show right after this. If you're an entrepreneur or owner-operator who's working hard but feeling stuck spinning your wheels instead of building real momentum, I'd love to help. I want to invite you to a free strategy session with one of our performance strategists. We'll help you see what's actually working, what's holding you back, and the clearest next step to get your momentum going again. To claim your free strategy session, head over to survivingthesidehustle.com/free call. Again, that's survivingthesidehustle.com/free call. We'd love to talk to you. And now back to the episode. What's going on, and welcome back to another Friday recap of Surviving the Side Hustle. And I wanted to just dive right in with a quote from our guest from this week's guest interview. And the quote is, "You don't have to almost die to truly live." Now that line is pretty powerful. And when Holly, our guest, said it, it really stopped me and had me kind of thinking. And I think it will do the same for you. See, Holly is a 15-time international best-selling author, founder of over a dozen businesses. She's an international speaker and genuinely the kind of person who just makes you feel like anything is possible just by being in the same room, or in this case, on the same podcast feed. She is the founder of the Adventure Bucket Wish Foundation, which is a nonprofit built to empower women to lead with purpose and presence. And she is building an association and community designed to support the rapidly growing retreat industry. This is actually her second time on the show, and if you missed the first conversation, I encourage you to go back and find it and listen, because that episode has been one of our most listened to episodes. But today's conversation stands completely on its own, and I want to make sure that you walk away with the big stuff. So here's the short version of how Holly got here. She's been an entrepreneur most of her life, building 2, 3, sometimes 4 businesses at the same time, raising 8 children in between all of it, and stacking up over a dozen companies across her career. Then, in the fall of 2021, she tested positive for COVID and ended up in the hospital for 70 days. That's right, 70 days. She went in on 0 medications and came out on 12. She had a ventilator, 9 doctors, and during those first few weeks, she had an out-of-body experiences, a spiritual transformation, and a near-death experience that she describes as stepping into what she calls the stadium of light, which is a space where everything was telepathic and every thought she had was immediately answered. She came back with a clarity that she says most people never get, a kind of knowing with the ending of her story already written and the work of filling in those pages ahead of her. Within 4 months of leaving the hospital, she had incorporated 2 new companies, and 2 years after that, she buckled down and finished the book she knew she was supposed to write, which is Near Death Shift, and it came out on November 11th. A date that was not random to her at all. But I want to be really honest about what the low points actually looked like for Holly, because it would be easier to hear this story and kind of romanticize it. The reality is that after she got out of the hospital, she dealt with long COVID for nearly 2 years. She described it as going from about 20% functioning to 50, then to 70. And then she said, I gotta love her for saying this too, by the way, 70 still stuck, by the way. Her whole system was rebuilt from scratch. She had COVID fog messing with her ability to think clearly. She handed the book project to someone to help carry it, and that did not work out. So she sat on it for about a year before she took it back. She missed opportunities that she was excited about, including a deal with a company backed by a billionaire that she had to walk away from based on what she was told in her near-death experience. And then there were 2 full years that she called hell before things started to shift. She did not gloss over any of that. She named it, and I think that really matters. So, what is actually powering Holly at this level? Across all of this, building the companies while recovering, writing books while her brain is still clearing, launching nonprofits while still on oxygen. I think it comes down to a motto she said that she leaned on when she was at her sickest. Better is better. Every morning she would wake up with all of this stuff going on physically and ask herself, what can I do today to be better than I was yesterday? And that's it. Not a massive strategy, not a 5-year plan, just one small question aimed forward. She pairs that with something she came back from the near-death experience really believing, which is gratitude as an active practice. Not a feeling you wait for, but a lens that you choose. She said that when she started noticing the good things, she started attracting more of them. And when she felt stuck or low energy, she would go serve somebody, do something nice for someone she didn't even feel like being nice to. And that would shift things. It is not complicated, but it is disciplined. Hey, what's up? Sorry for the interruption. It's Rob. One quick thing before we keep going. If you're feeling stuck or like you've lost the momentum that you used to have, here's a simple, free first step. Take the assessment at gettheprime.com. In just a few minutes, it'll show you exactly where you're leaking momentum so you can get that ball rolling again with the Prime app. It's completely free. So if you're new here, this is the best place to start. Go ahead to gettheprime.com and take the free assessment. All right, let's get back into it. Now, here is where I want to connect what Holly is doing to what I talk about with the Prime Performance process, because I think there is something really worth naming here. The 6 principles of the Prime Performance process are resilience, intentionality, clarity, optimization, influence, and opportunity, all in service of looking good, feeling good, and really doing great things. Holly is hitting all 6 of them, but the one I keep coming back to is for her is clarity. And here's what I mean. One of the core ideas behind the Prime Performance process is that you cannot take effective action from a foggy state. You have to know what is going on inside first before you can build anything meaningful on the outside. Holly's better is better motto is really a daily check-in, a moment of self-awareness before she takes a step. What is my capacity today? What is actually possible? Where am I starting from? That internal calibration, doing that honestly every single morning, is what let her keep moving, even while she was at 70 function, even at 50. You do not need to have a near-death experience to start asking that question, but you do have to be willing to actually look and take an honest look at it too. All right, so if Holly's story resonated with you, and I'm going to guess it did, here is where you go. She has a link tree that everything is in one spot. Her book, Near Death Shift, her website, all her social channels, her email, the retreat company, the International Retreat Association that she's building, the nonprofit, all of it is there. And I'll make sure that the link is in the show notes so that you don't have to go hunting for it. And if something from this episode or the guest interview episode hits you, Holly made a specific request, and I'm going to pass it along. Tell her, reach out, let her know what landed. She said if one person hears something today that moves them forward, then the whole conversation is worth it. And I believe that. So go find her, grab a copy of her book, and follow what she's building, because it is the kind of thing that's worth paying attention to. So, Holly, if you're checking out this recap episode, thank you again for coming on again. First episode was truly a smash hit, and the second episode seems to be doing just the same. So I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your experiences and your insights as well. You came back to the show and gave us the same generosity and energy that you gave the first time, and then some. The Stadium of Light, the better is better motto, the 2 years of hell that you named without flinching, all of it. I appreciate you trusting us with that. And for everyone listening, the one thing I want you to sit with today is the question that Holly asked herself every single morning when things were at their hardest. What can I do today to be better than I was yesterday? And that's it. Just start there, have that honest conversation with yourself, and you can hear the full conversation that I had with Holly on episode 203 right here on Surviving the Side Hustle. Or you can head over to survivingthesidehustle.com to catch the whole episode. And if you're not following the show yet, now is a pretty good time to do so that you never miss one of these or guest interviews. Until next week, peace, 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 guys. All right, sweet. That's a wrap on this week's episode of Surviving the Side Hustle. If this conversation gave you something that you can use, would you do me a favor and follow the show? And then please leave a quick rating and review wherever you listen. It genuinely helps more entrepreneurs find these stories, and it helps spread the word of our guests. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, do us both a favor and share the episode their way. You can connect with me and find everything that we mentioned over at survivingthesidehustle.com. Until next time, remember, pay attention to what works for you and then do more of that. That's how you stop spinning and start winning.